Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to a very special week. So this is our weekly read from December 22nd through the 26th. And for those that celebrate, happy Christmas week. So this is a week that revolves around an agreement that's written in comet fire and ocean ink. This is a week where the sky leans in close. It whispers your name and it asks you to participate with presence in your own becoming, where joy becomes a vow and where love learns gravity. Now, before we get started, I just want to say too, thank you guys so much truly for all your love and support every which way. All your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your comments, donations, Honey Sea Star purchases. Every bit of it counts. Each one of you count. Each one of you matter. You are what make this a family, and I love you back. So let's get into this weekly read, because let me tell you, this week is truly an agreement between what you give and what you receive. And it's also an agreement between joy, responsibility, love and limits, and devotion and self-respect. The sky is weighting things on a scale to ensure that your energies are balanced as you close out this week and walk forward into 2026. And as the Ursid's meteor shower peaks on Monday, stay tuned, we'll get into it. The Capricorn energy builds its temple in your 5th house of joy and bliss. Pisces energy is dissolving edges of your 7th house of partnerships and commitments. And the universe is not asking you to fix anything. It's asking you to feel, to choose, to commit, and most importantly, to trust what is emerging, even if you can't name it yet. This is a week of sacred labor and soulful pleasure, of karmic meetings, we'll get into that too, and emotional contracts, of creative fire that is anchored in responsibility, and every single day this week builds on the last. This is a week where Spirit is saying someone is in need of your love. This is the week to truly offer it to them. And right away on Monday, on December 22nd. Know what I meant. Either way, the Ursid's meteor shower is going to peak for us, and it is also spreading its stardust across your foundation. So the Ursids do not announce themselves like the Perseids. These meteors are subtle. They're rare, and they're meaningful. They arrive quietly. They also arrive briefly, and they're seen only by those who are willing to slow down and look up into the stillness. And for Virgos, thank you, Spirit, the Ursids mirror the kind of miracles that we experience when life, my goodness, thank you, when life truly changes. It's when we don't necessarily see it changing, but all of a sudden we have an epiphany where it's like, oh my goodness, it has. That is this type of shower. So spiritually, they are cosmic messages. But the Ursids specifically symbolize earned insight, wisdom that arrives because you stayed present long enough to receive it. It is not about wishing for something new. It's not about wishing to escape. This is an acknowledgement about what has already been forming and making a wish to align with it. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because right away, with the 7 of Wands coming out 50-50, on the upswing, this is about where you've had to feel like you're facing opposition, being overly guarded, and also grounded in the way of knowing that you're in a favorable position, that no matter what tests you, you have the strength 10 toes down to truly stand your ground against personal challenges, embracing the spirituality within you, standing up against any tests with the hidden wisdom that you carry, especially with your solar plexus in alignment. That is knowing who you are, why you're here, what you're made for, and what you're meant to do, and truly, more importantly, knowing that you are enough. You always have been. On the downswing, this is where whatever you're up against can make you feel overly defensive, overly sensitive, or even to challenge you in a way that makes you feel insufficient, at a disadvantage, or puts you in a place where you lack confidence, which leads to indecision. It puts you in a place, especially with 50-50 like this, think of it as like this is reacting on the upswing, this is responding. This is what you're truly facing, and this is the message that these showers are coming in with, the Ursids. On Monday in particular, it's a very busy astrological day. This is where we also have, under this meteor shower, the moon in Capricorn in our 5th house. And remember, for those that have seen the winter solstice, those that have celebrated the winter solstice and have received the message that I posted earlier here, or even over this weekend, we had an alignment with Capricorn, with the Capricorn Stellium in particular, between the moon, the sun, and Mars. So with the moon in Capricorn, this is your emotions really coming into your house of joy, into your house of bliss. And on Monday, after this stellium, while it's still aligned, after the solstice, the moon will be sextile with Saturn in Pisces in our 7th house. That's our long-term commitments, partnerships, contracts, agreements, and these two will be sextile at 25 degrees. Now, 25 degrees carries the frequency of spiritual maturity through conscious responsibility, and also, too, it's a degree where the soul stops experimenting and starts inhabiting what it knows. So the moon in Capricorn in your 5th house is asking you, what does joy look like when it's taken truly seriously, when it's respected, when it's honored, and when it's cherished? And Saturn in Pisces in your 7th house asks the parallel question, what does love look like when it's rooted in compassion and bounded, anchored by reality? So this aspect is truly a turning point that's going to be stabilizing you, stabilizing your creative passions, your romantic commitments, and your emotional availability. And you stop confusing effort with devotion. This is where you may realize that you don't need to prove your love through endurance. You don't need to justify your joy through productivity, and you don't need to sacrifice yourself in order to be chosen. You may feel called to take a creative passion truly seriously, or even to define boundaries in a relationship to establish balance and to establish trust. Or you may even feel pushed to choose devotion over distractions. This aspect builds containers, structures that can actually hold what you love without draining you, so that you can stand in the King of Pentacles energy. This is art with integrity, joy that can last, love that honors balance and boundaries. Having the self-control, being an industrialist, knowing that you can be a provider, that you can be dependable, but also that you can be vulnerable, and that vulnerability is your greatest strength. Standing in your truth with your inner fire, your aura, being aligned, being balanced. This is where, too, there's an emphasis on security, what really makes you stable, where you can come to the middle and truly build a foundation that is unshakable no matter what you feel tested against, that puts you in a place where you either react on the downswing, or respond, right? So at the same time as well, the moon will also be trine with Uranus retrograde. And Uranus retrograde right now is in Taurus in our 9th house. Expansion, higher self-ascension, higher self-wisdom. And these two, this trine is truly beautiful. It is aligning at 28 degrees. And 28 degrees is the degree of liberation from old timelines and inherited worldviews. So it's truly looking at the past. It carries the spiritual meaning of releasing belief systems that were once necessary for survival, but now have become restrictive to your growth. So this trine does not shatter your beliefs, but it does absolutely loosen them. So there's something here with this trine that you've previously accepted as truth, because you were taught that that was truth. It's got to do with success, morality, spirituality, or that this way, only one way, is the right way to live. And this belief, as it loosens, is quietly losing its authority over you under this trine. It may be a realization that your intuition has been right for much longer than you've admitted or that you've listened to. That you have permission to stop translating yourself for systems that never fit you. Kind of like trying to, it feels like you're trying to wear a shoe that's 2 sizes too big. And every step, it's like you've been flopping around in it. It causes blisters, it causes chafing in all the wrong ways. This trine offers you relief from all of that, from an internalized, rule that has purposefully kept you small. It's inherently taught to you. And this insight, this sudden epiphany that comes, it can come from a number of directions. A book, a conversation, a memory, or even a moment that you make this connection, almost like it's electric, especially with Uranus, where it's like, oh, that's why. That was the hidden motive. That was why it was producing or giving me this feeling of safety. And more importantly, that's why it was also keeping me bound to it. So it may be a realization that your intuition, like I say, that you have not been listening to it, where it's been speaking to you all along. Whatever it is, it's going to feel like you're coming home to your own knowing, especially with the Three of Wands. This is where he is looking out. He's got the foundation. He's got the triad here as well, as you can see with the three. That's creative synergy. It's synthesis, creative consciousness. You have the ability to tap into that collective creation, that collective knowledge. It's written within your DNA. And in this coming home of your own knowing, trusting yourself once again, you find that you're also trusting your intuition after years of overriding it. This is where it's like it's a brand new action of initiation that truly connects you to soul's vitality, to your life source, exploring new territories, committed to completion. This is being one step away from success and knowing the cooperation, the foresight that's needed to truly guide you towards your synthesis. And again, it's got to do with your solar plexus. This is inspiration in action, knowing that you have everything within you that you need to succeed. You're headed in the right direction when you listen, when you open that third eye. Whatever it is, you're coming home. At the same time as well, this is powerful on Monday. The moon will also be sextile with Neptune. And remember, Neptune is right alongside Saturn in our 7th house in Pisces. Ocean ink here. And these two are at their final degree at 29 degrees on Monday. So with this sextile working cooperatively, your emotions, your dreams, your commitments, but also to your compassion. These two on Monday are like your soul's final exam. It's the final breath of a lesson that carries the spiritual meaning of completion, karmic resolution, and final emotional release that sets you free under Uranus's trine with the moon that is going to be liberating you from old timelines. So this sextile is going to emotionally feel and be one of the most tender moments of the week. You may feel nostalgia, longing, or a deep compassion for someone you once misunderstood. Could even be yourself. This sextile may manifest as holding compassion for a relationship that couldn't meet you halfway, allowing yourself to grieve for a dream that you outgrew. It teaches you that forgiveness doesn't necessarily require reconciliation. There's empowerment in taking your power back. And it starts with forgiveness. It's rooted in forgiveness. And Neptune is here to dissolve the illusion. But he doesn't dissolve the love. Instead, he offers closure through forgiveness, not by forgetting the trespass, but by releasing the charge, the entanglement, the binds, the chains. So you're being asked to release the story that kept you bound to disappointment and to claim your emotional closure by releasing attachment without bitterness, cleanly, quietly, powerfully. This is where with the Knight of Swords, once you're free, as you can tell, you are charging forward. You're building a structure based on the flow of Aquarius, the expansion of that energy with innovation, seeing just how powerful you are in all of your inspirations when you look at the world in a new way, when you look at those old storylines and you present yourself a different one for your direction forward. This is charging forward with bravery, being that wounded warrior that has learned to change those wounds into wisdom. This is being fearless in your ambitions, standing against confrontations, also utilizing your quick wit, articulation when it comes to arguments, conflicts that have put you in a position where you either are forced to fight or flight, react or respond, right? This is intellectual passion. This is advocating for yourself against conflicts, against issues, and embracing being open to new ideas that help you rise so that you can take action towards those new ideas. Because remember, new ideas are new results. And this is allowing you to truly move forward with the wheel turning in a new direction, in a new lesson with the Fool's shoes. It's a new start where you're tapping into a new potential, being innocent, not being weighed down by the past, not being bound by limiting beliefs. And it's just in time because later in the day on Monday, the moon is going to be entering Aquarius. And the moon entering Aquarius is in our 6th house. That is our astrological home of work, daily rhythms, lifestyle, routine. And the moon in Aquarius will also be conjuncting Pluto at 2 degrees of duality. So 2 degrees, this is true movement towards co-creation through conscious participation in your transformation. This is the degree of cooperation with fate where awareness changes outcomes. Monday is truly a big day, and I'm recording this a little late on Monday. I really struggled this weekend with this reading. Don't ask, I don't know why, but the winter solstice really wanted me to pause, is all I gotta say. So I apologize for those that normally expect this to come out over the weekend, but it's here now, and I hope that you receive it, because here with Pluto, with the moon, this conjunction does not shout. Pluto exposes, he reveals, and with your 6th house being illuminated, this is about work dynamics, health patterns, your relationship to usefulness and worth. And Pluto here is asking, especially when it comes to lightening the load, embracing the spirit of adventure, opening yourself to the flow of your creativity along your journey, the expansion of your journey, tapping into that unlimited potential. Pluto is here to ask, where are you over-controlling? Where are you under-empowered? Where have you been over-functioning? And where has all of this being, this feeling of being needed replaced being valued in your life and your daily rhythm? So where are your routines quietly draining your life force without you noticing until after the fact, when you already feel drained, when you already feel like you need to just rest to recover? This is about finding that middle ground, coming back to the center. It's not about doing more. It's about ending quiet self-erasure. And at 2 degrees, you're being asked, where have you been participating in your own depletion? And the way to think about it, especially with this conjunction, is the aspect that your habits truly are your portals. They're your energy, right? So your portals, your habits, by changing one ritual, you change your life. And this conjunction is truly opening you up to that so that you can take action towards the start of something new, towards embracing change. This is good news, creative energy, inspiration flowing freely, opening the door with manifestation towards opportunity, and opening the door towards Tuesday, the 23rd. So the moon in Aquarius on Tuesday will be sextile with our ruler, Mercury. And remember, Mercury right now, though it's coming into Capricorn, stay tuned for that. Mercury at this point is still in Sagittarius, focusing on our relationships, our family roots and home, family, right? Communication, when it's involved in how you define home, who you fill that home with. And this sextile, this aspect, opens a very rare channel of honest reflection and, most importantly, truth without collapse. So you may find that on Tuesday you have this amazing revitalization of mental oxygen. Mercury in Sagittarius seeks meaning, while the moon in Aquarius seeks perspective, seeks that coming home to that inner knowing and embracing. It's like now you've opened this book and now it's like you're diving in, you're reading, you're digesting all of it, you're marinating all of it. And together they allow truth to surface without turning it into a wound. So you may be finally finding that you're articulating something emotional that's tied to your home, tied to your family, or even your past. Conversations during this sextile flow. Journaling as well reveals truth. There is a realization that lands, but it lands with a surprising calm involved with it as well. This is where all of these came out 50-50. We'll talk about this. Let's just see. I'm curious. before I get too far. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Okay. Yeah, this sextile is going to be powerful for Virgo. So you may be finally naming a childhood pattern without reliving it, or understanding how your past has changed your work ethic. Spiritually, this is integration. It is not excavation, and it has a lot to do with lies, deceptions, cheating, theft, manipulation, seeing where those rose-colored glasses or what's been painted in front of you, especially when it comes to home, family, something in your past, there's a truth being revealed, and there's a realization of what was painted to you as this, like, how to put it? This is pretty, pretty farmland, kind of bringing me back to my roots. But, you know, when you put lipstick on a pig, not all of them are as pretty as Miss Piggy, right? Not all of them have the best intentions. And this is where, especially being a sign of service, you're looking at where there's childhood patterns that have truly been manipulating you, especially when it comes to an authoritative figure, the emperor, right? Where your power has been taken away, misused, where there's been chaos, where there's been poor leadership or controlling behavior that's emphasized over your choices. And by understanding it, understanding how it's shaped your work ethic in a lot of ways as well, and how you've treated yourself, you're able to take your power back. You're able to stand in your authority. You're able to reestablish your focus, your stability, and more importantly, your leadership over your daily rhythms, your life choices, how you work, how you replenish. Spiritually, this is integration. It's not excavation, like I was saying, and especially with the Ten of Swords coming out 50-50 as well. This is where you have a choice. You can look at it on the downswing. Look at where you're greatly overworked, overburdened, exhausted, where you're burnt out, right? Where you've been stressed because you've been working harder, not smarter. You're not seeing the progress, and you're letting that frustration truly make you work harder to a point of exhaustion. I will also say, whatever is landing, it is not meant to be re-traumatization. This is where you look at where you're spreading yourself too thin, where you've been overwhelmed, where you've been overburdened. And you're taking responsibility to take those staffs, take that burden, and lay it down. So it's where your understanding replaces what's going on with rumination, where that rumination has been exhausting you, and it allows you to truly look at where your emotions are tied to it, right? Where your emotions have been bound. So where your emotions have been unbalanced, where also too there's even been a reaction versus a response to those types of dominations, I guess is what I'm really coming into, where it's made you feel and act impulsively, where you've experienced trespasses that have established trust issues due to unfaithfulness, right? This is reacting to all of them rather than responding to them with rationality, with making sure that you hold your center, your calm, your power, your emotions, with wisdom, applying that care to your center, to your emotions, to, more importantly, your well-being, with maturity, and learning to respond rather than reacting. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. And especially with the Knight of Wands here coming out 50-50 like this. This is where, again, anger, impulsivity, indignation, fear, recklessness has been driving the course, has been holding the reins. This is bringing things back into balance. Know what I meant to say? And especially as potatoes grow, you know, potatoes, don't ask. Potatoes have many eyes. This is learning to see with more than just the two eyes, right? This is opening up all of your senses. So looking at clairaudience, looking at all the clairs when it comes to even remote viewing, what you hear, what you feel, listening to your instincts, knowing that those senses truly are meant to guide you with your electromagnetic field, that your heart chakra, that your electromagnetic field of your heart frequency truly can help you with bringing things back into balance and help you see with new perspectives, to embrace travel, to see what's been burdening you or causing fear, and to release it so that you can take action where once you were frozen, especially when it comes to the feeling of trespasses. With the Ten of Swords coming in 50-50 like this is where you're looking at painful endings. Again, it's got home, family, and past tied to it. This is where a truth is revealed, where you've been exhausted, where things have been over-exaggerated, especially the truth, to basically feed into deceptions, allow backstabbing, gossip to occur, or even to where sabotage has occurred, whether it be from the self or from others. And instead you're looking at all of it and you're healing from past traumas, past troubles, where you're learning not just to survive, but you're learning from the past in order to thrive. And if that resonates, let me know. Put a heart in the comments below, because this is a Tuesday. And like I say, this whole week, each and every day is building on the last. Friday is a big day. We'll get into it. I don't want to spoil it, but stay tuned. So before we get there, on Tuesday, Venus in Sagittarius in our 4th house, putting all that love back into the home and family, will be squaring with Neptune in Pisces. And these two as well are at 29 degrees. They are here to dissolve a karmic lesson. This is important, especially with the aspect with Mercury coming in, with a rare, honest reflection of truth. So as that truth is revealed, Venus, Neptune are dissolving this karmic completion or this karmic lesson so that you can come into completion. And this square brings clarity, or especially around a romantic or an emotional ideal that was formed early and carried unconsciously. The weight that you didn't know was truly weighing you down, as heavy as it was. This may reveal where love became synonymous with saving, where hope replaced evidence, where you stayed because leaving felt like failure, where you projected or hoped instead of observed, and where love blurred into sacrifice. And again, it had to do with manipulation, had to do with deceit. There's a truth being revealed here. And this square with Venus and Neptune, it will feel a little disorienting, I'm not going to lie, especially with what's put you in a lack mindset, what's been tempted, what's caused a vice. It's bringing you back into alignment, sandwiched with these queens, with your divine feminine energy, but also too with your truth, with your foundation, and with your emotions, with your compassion, with, most importantly, your adaptability, your flexibility. So this square, truly, while it may feel disorienting, there's truth being revealed. It's going to shatter a little, like it's going to rock your world a little bit, not going to lie. But this square is not meant to be cruel or disruptive. It's where illusions end and the sobriety of self-respect truly begins. And you're looking at all the manipulations, all the deceit, all the vices, all the temptations, all the lack mindset that it's caused, the temporary hardships. And more importantly, you're establishing a resilience in your sacral flow, which is basically turning wounds into wisdom, right? Especially as it pertains to reestablishing your foundation, making sure that it's unshakable. And you're kind of looking at those manipulations and saying, you know what, I'm really sorry, but I don't think you can afford me anymore. And it's frank, yes, but it's not meant to be cruel or disruptive, right? It's meant to basically say, you know your worth. And all those manipulations don't faze you anymore. This is where, especially with the foundation of your truth, with the Queen of Pentacles, this is no longer letting these vices restrain you. Especially with your drive, your passions, going after what you're truly wanting when it comes to building your life flow, your foundation, generating prosperity, flowing in your creativity, generating wealth, being reciprocal with what you give and what you receive, and knowing that your compassion truly is what defines you, not the pain, not the lack, not the difficulties or the hardships, the vices, the restrictions, the distrust, or the pessimism. This is leading with flexibility and adaptability, with grace, when it comes to truly expansion of seeing all sides of the coin, the light and the dark, and the light and the dark within you through all of the lessons that you've learned. Being the dreamer, the artist, the charisma that it takes to take those creative risks, especially with our 5th house being activated with all this Capricorn energy. And as we start heading into the holiday for those that celebrate, on Wednesday, the 24th, this is where joy truly takes responsibility and replaces that self-sacrifice. So on the 24th, I will say this is one of the most important days of the week. So just know it's there. This is the day to stand up and to pay attention. I'll do a separate reading as well, just to forewarn you or to prepare you, and I'll go into more depth, but Venus is entering Capricorn. So she is also completely going to change your tone and the tone of your heart over the next few weeks. When Venus enters Capricorn, the heart becomes discerning, and truly this is where love grows up. Desire becomes intentional. Affection becomes reliable. Pleasure becomes something that you protect. And more importantly, like I say, you're standing in your self-worth. You're no longer seeing, I should say it in this way, you're no longer seeing the illusion and being led by it, but you're standing in the sobriety of self-respect, and you're ending where self-sacrifice was romanticized as an essential need in order to belong, in order to be respected, in order to accomplish. So, like I say, this is where you may crave quality over quantity, intention over impulse. Pleasure becomes something that you build, not chase. This is truly a wonderful time. Oh my gosh. And too, this is where you find your strength with the Hermit. You start taking action, especially because Venus governs money as well, towards your new beginnings, especially when it looks at income, your creativity, your pleasures, turning that into responsibility, your joy into a practice, because it's your vitality. So this marks a point when Venus moves. She's looking at things in a much more mature way. So this is sensuality with a purpose. This is romance with a plan. This is diving into creativity that respects your time, that values you just as much as you value it, honors you, cherishes you just as much as you do the same. This is reciprocal, what you give and what you receive. And for Virgos, this marks a shift away from overgiving, emotional bargaining, and even proving your worth through, or feeling the need to prove your worth, I should say, through usefulness. So as Venus moves you toward reliability, consistency, mutual investment, and experiencing joy that doesn't require justification, love for you, for all of us Virgos, truly becomes longevity that also has sustainability, successional planning, successional building. This is when you learn your true strength and how strong, how much your love holds. And I will also say, because during the winter solstice, we had a Capricorn Stellium. When Venus moves into Capricorn, she will also be aligning another and much stronger Capricorn Stellium in our 5th house. She's going to be standing alongside the Sun and Mars. And you're going to feel this one much stronger than we felt the Moon, the Sun, and Mars over the winter solstice. So this stellium with Venus is redefining joy itself for you. Joy becomes a mission. Your creativity becomes disciplined, and your heart becomes brave. Your 5th house truly governs vitality, your vitality, and Capricorn energy makes vitality your foundation. This is where it all begins and where it holds your strength. This is where, with the Knight of Pentacles, laboring towards your goals, your hard work, your long-term goals, your diligence and your perseverance, charge forward with bravery. And as you can see, it starts with him holding the coin, and look at how much it manifests in size. You're still holding it, but you're cherishing it. You're exalting it. So Mars gives you the courage to act on desire. Venus gives you discernment in your action. And the Sun, under this Capricorn stellium, makes this part of your whole identity with holistic wholeness and lasting wellness in your vitality. This is infinity of strength. Tapping into that inner strength and knowing that you possess all of it, the self-empowerment, the willpower, the confidence, the courage, big one, the love, and the healing, the antimicrobial with the tea tree oil, to truly stand in your power and reach completion in what you agree to. Again, this is an agreement week. This is about what you give, what you receive, an agreement between joy and responsibility, love and limits, devotion and self-respect. And the sky is weighting things on this scale to ensure that your energies are balanced as you close out this year and walk forward into 2026. This Capricorn Stellium is going to play a very big role. So this is the week that you realize joy is not a reward. It is a responsibility to your life force, so that you can stand, shine exactly as you're meant to be, and shine a light on every ounce of it. This is the stellium that declares your creativity, and it deserves authority. Your pleasure deserves respect. Your heart deserves that leadership in your life, and it's opening you up. This stellium is opening you up to every ounce of it. It's time to take your talent seriously. It's time to invest in pleasure without guilt. And most importantly, the biggest lesson with Venus coming into this alignment, activating this stellium, is to allow your heart to lead. You're allowed to enjoy what you work for without guilt and without sacrifice. And Venus is giving you that discernment. And while this stellium is empowering you, the moon in Aquarius, in our 6th house of work, daily rhythms, lifestyle, will also be sextiling Chiron. And remember, Chiron is our wounded healer. He is currently in Aries in our 8th house of transformation, and this sextile happens to be at 22 degrees. This is healing in the master builder degree. This is truly standing in your honesty, looking at the truth, choosing to know the truth, standing more importantly in your truth as you learn to walk forward in your truth, aligning your aura to your truth. So these two, this sextile, this wounded healing, they're going to be turning pain into a stable foundation through structural healing, and it's major. It's soft, it's gentle, but this is where change truly happens. So with this sextile, there's a deep healing that's occurring through understanding emotional and energetic power dynamics here. And it's helping you reclaim your power around intimacy, around trust, and around shared resources. It's revealing where self-sufficiency replaced vulnerability for you at one time, how control became safety, where strength meant silence, not the other way around. And it's allowing you to need without shame. This is not dramatic, but it's reinforcing your foundation so that your house can expand safely with the wisdom that it holds. And at the same time, the moon in Aquarius will also be square with Uranus retrograde. And remember, Uranus, our planet of shakeups, expansion, electric energy, is in retrograde looking at the past. In Taurus, in our 9th house, looking at stability, safety, and more importantly, where you're going, your higher self-ascension. This square is happening at 28 degrees. So this is truly where there is going to be an emotional curveball that gets thrown, and it will disrupt your expectations. But this 28 degrees is the degree of liberation. This is where that coin, your new beginnings, your prosperity, your gain, your opportunity, change, especially when it comes to money, career, opportunities, whatever brings you out of that lack mindset, those hardships, truly liberates and expands, heals with ginger. And it has a lot to do with finding your voice, healing your throat chakra with this curveball. So I will just say, especially with this square, there is a plan that unexpectedly changes. And, big surprise, that typically happens with the holidays, right? But this is kind of a different one. It's an astrological one. So there is a plan that is unexpectedly changing. There is a belief that's challenged, or there's even a feeling that sneaks in uninvited. Something unsettling is going to demand your attention with this square. And this square is asking you to loosen your grip on certainty, and instead embrace the medicine of flexibility. So whatever happens, don't overanalyze it. Get out of the South Node lower expressions, what puts you in that 3 of Swords, and flip that scale. Let the disruption inform you. You're not losing control. With this square, you're gaining range. This is where with the Three of Swords in reverse, you're looking at loss, sorrow, right? But it puts it in a different place. It puts it in the perspective of release, reconciliation, apologies. Also, a movement towards optimism, towards balancing the scales, and especially with Saturn, making it entangle with your foundations. You're not losing control. You're gaining range. Later in the day, too, I will also say, the moon will enter Pisces. There is a lot of Pisces water here this week, and it is our opposite sign. It's in our 7th house of partnerships, so of course it's got to do with our commitments, our partnerships. And when the moon enters Pisces, the moon, this energy in our emotions will sextile Venus in Capricorn in our 5th house of joy, bliss. This is beautiful. So it just made me sigh. It gave me goosebumps a little bit. But I will say, this is what truly opens the door. So this sextile between the moon in Pisces and Venus, once she's in Capricorn, and she's aligned and activating that Capricorn stellium with the sun, or right after, I should say, with the sun. Well, no, actually, during at the same time with the sun and Mars. Know what I meant? Not what I said. This is where there is a relational softness that is returning. But it's returning while keeping boundaries intact. Again, she is where love grows up. So this love does not confuse sacrifice with devotion. Under this sextile, especially with the moon entangling your emotions to this growth, connections feel gentler. They feel clearer. Compassion flows openly, thank you, and freely. Affection feels warmer. It feels grounded. And love becomes gentle with grace, without illusions, without manipulations. And it's where things just fall into place with respect and joy. It's judgment. It's where your justice comes in. It's duality, where things become balanced in their polarities, where you trust that intuition. Because remember, every day is building on itself. And more importantly, Pluto is realigning. Pluto is revealing. So as we wake up on Christmas, for those that celebrate, on December 25th, we wake up not only to judgment, to justice, but we wake up to the universe delivering a sacred yes to each and every one of us, where an agreement truly becomes sacred for you. So this day and holiday for those that celebrate is truly emotionally dense. I'm just going to prepare you, but it's in a good way. So the sun in Capricorn, in our 5th house, again aligned and awakened under this stellium with Mars and with Venus, is sextiling the moon in Pisces, focusing in on our partnerships and where vitality, our joy, is aligned in our commitments, how we commit to our joy and vitality. And this aspect is delivering a true holy alignment. So your inner world, your outer world are aligning with coherence. What you want and what you feel stop conflicting with each other, and peace truly is delivered to you about a choice that you made earlier in the week, about an acceptance of a relationship's true shape, and it's felt, it's honored for what it is, what it was meant to teach you. You'll feel a calm confidence in your emotional direction from this point forward, through the end of the year into 2026. And this is a sacred yes in the agreement that the peace that's been earned through growth is bringing you into true alignment. So at the same time, it's going to be looking at, with the 7 of Swords, where there was deceptions, betrayals, ulterior motives, the choice that you made to look at all of this and to shine a light on the fibs, where you felt outcast, all the shadows that made you feel isolated, the misrepresentations. You're embracing the hidden wisdom and knowing the choice that you made to choose yourself, your self-worth, to honor your joy, your responsibility, to love, where love is truly your self-worth, your self-respect, with boundaries, that boundaries are meant to free you, not entrap you. This is where your strength truly shines in its hidden wisdom, especially when it has to do with where you were told to try and fit the mold, especially with the Hierophant. This is basically looking at, could be even dealing with a Taurus, where someone had told you that going with the crowd, that group identification, was meant to gain stability, to create stability. But instead what it did was it did the opposite. This is changing the script, flipping the scales in a lot of ways. And by you turning things on its head in a lot of ways as well, embracing change, embracing challenge, adjusting by releasing those limited beliefs, you're walking towards healing, towards adapting. And especially when it comes to the Two of Wands, you're seeing the wrong intentions, right? You're seeing where that impatience, that hasty planning, where the reaction versus response has caused you to rush, has caused you indecisiveness, has truly inhibited your growth. So at the same time, the moon in Pisces will also be sextiling Mars in Capricorn 5th house at the same time. And these two are giving you the emotional courage to look at all of this, where you've had to dim your light, to flip the scales, and to begin your awakening, to release those constraints, to break free from the bondage, to liberate yourself in your freedom against injustices, taking your power back through that forgiveness, aligning with your peace. And this part, this emotional courage, is basically here to allow you to open the door in your affinity, in your stability, to truly express your desires without holding back. Express your desires without feeling pressured, to advocate for yourself without feeling defensive, to take action without urgency, to respond, not react. This is where it's like pure aura strength without the need to feel like you need to armor yourself. This is confidence without force, and it's also allowing you to stand tall just as you are. And know that you're enough no matter what tests, no matter what contradictions come at you. So this is where you're looking at the Ten of Wands. You're seeing what's too big of a burden and you're laying it down. You're solving key problems where you once felt like they were insurmountable, unpassable. You're reassessing things and you're prioritizing the order. This is also a sign, with all of this going on Christmas, this sacred yes, this sacred agreement, this holy agreement and alignment that allows you to truly look at things and know that those beliefs that have limited you, that foundation that was built on sand, is about to collapse. And your sacral flow is truly opening. And again, this is your just deserves. This is your judgment. And again, with your intuition, you're learning that it's been right all along. But this time you're listening. There's also something very special that's happening on the 25th. So I do just want to point this out. I'm not sure if I'll have a time with the holiday to fit this in. I'll try my best to do a separate read in further depth, but I do want to just prepare you. So as you stand in your aura, your truth, the moon is conjuncting with the North Node. Both of them are in Pisces. Both of them are in your ascension, your destiny, your fate, especially when it comes to partnerships and your commitments. Being cognizant of all of it with that sacred yes as your foundation. So this is special. With the moon conjuncting the North Node like this is where destiny becomes truly emotional for you. And the fates are knocking at your door, and they're holding a tissue just in case there's tears of joy that's falling. I'm just saying. So there is a meeting here. And I got goosebumps. I can't help it. My whole, everything is tingly right now. So, and if yours is too, put a heart in the comments below. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, because there is a meeting. I'm getting all excited by this. There is a meeting, a realization, or an emotional moment that is truly happening here, and it is going to be fated for you, and it opens the door to you taking leadership and you taking the reins over your compassion with that Cancerian energy. This is victory, external strength, standing in your aura, heading in the right direction, having momentum pick up in breakthroughs, especially when it comes to your commitments and what you choose to cognizantly commit to when it comes to what you give and what you receive. This is fated. So, and don't worry, they've got a tissue. Like I say, there's going to be tears of joy. It's going to carry this meeting, this realization, this emotional moment that's happening. It's going to carry weight that truly moves you, and it's going to move your direction. And it's because there's a new soul curriculum that is being initiated. It has a lot to do about harvest, bliss, prosperity, commitments. You're taking the reins. Everything is ready. You're standing in your power. And again, we've got that Ace of Pentacles being exalted by your strength and your justice. We will get into this. You are moving to mastery. I'm just saying. So this is a soul curriculum that's being initiated for Virgos. That's pointing you in a new direction. Right as 2025 comes to a close. So there's a relationship entanglement that's coming in to teach you what your soul truly signed up for in this lifetime, was meant to ascend toward in this lifetime, and it's coming into fruition. It's going to teach you profound new depths about compassion and about boundaries. This connection is going to be a divine partnership where you learn to love without self-abandonment, where you learn compassion without martyrdom. Cannot say that word. Without feeling the need to be a martyr or allowing others to make you the martyr. That's what I'm trying to say. And this divine partnership is going to teach you, help you learn to love and experience commitment without disappearance. There's no trust issues. There's no abandonment issues. This is true love. And it's looking at where your wishes want to come true, right? It's your foundation. It's pointing you in a new direction with a new soul curriculum. And it's going to rewrite how you experience love, how you trust love, and how you build your partnerships from this point forward on the foundation of love. This is where you're taking the reins, you're standing in your leadership, especially with your spirituality, in a breakthrough that creates movement with a focus on what you want your wishes to look like, right? Where you're worried, where you've held back, fear that wishes won't come true or materialize, where there was greed, vanity, overindulgence, conceit, where you weren't satisfied. And it's pointing you in and realigning you to a direction where there's abundance, there's happiness, there's enjoyment, there's desires that are being fulfilled, all your dreams being exalted and blessed by Jupiter. And it's knowing what you truly agree to with that throat chakra. It's coming to a place of achieving your goals, attaining and integrating all the lessons along the way, and truly breaking free from an old cycle with a new initiation. This is where you're looking at, again, with the Four of Wands, stability, peace, marriage, commitments, and initiating a blessing from Venus. Because again, when she's in Capricorn, this is love that grows up. This is love that has reached its maturity, coming into harmony, familial bliss, balance. This is where there is a true enlightenment happening. There's spiritual growth, and it's also prophesized for you. This is what your soul truly wanted to learn and signed up for to learn in this life. It's coming into a point on the 25th for you. Like I say, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, because Friday, if you think that the 25th is dense, is heavy with like how prolific it is, the 26th, oh my goodness, as we walk into Friday, we enter the most karmically significant day of the week. We'll get into it. This is where I will say all of the suffering, where your trust has been tested along the way, you're opening a door to a new perspective on the 25th through submission, with all the spiritual growth that you've gained, all the wisdom. And Neptune is here to dissolve all the illusions when it came to where your trust was being tested, right? Especially when it comes to allowing you to stand in your authority, take leadership over your love, stand and truly honor your ambitions, receive the support with discipline and with reason, with boundaries, through action and initiation when it comes to building the right foundations. This is where Spirit is saying on the 25th, coming into Friday on the 26th, everything is ready. You're moving to a point, changing directions, being aligned with your aura in the right direction to truly build something meaningful, to really stand in your self-mastery and integrate with action, especially with all these late degrees this week. This is where Mercury is truly guiding you every step of the way. in helping you articulate truth without truth collapsing. This is standing in everything that you're meant to become, to shine in with why you chose to be born as a Virgo. This is special. This is completion, this is achievement, and this is trusting your intuition. And again, with confirmation, because I think this was like the same alignment as well as the previous pull, your Ace of Pentacles. This is your fresh start, and it's a fresh start towards prosperity, success, achievement, enjoyment, wealth, health, security. This is favored change. And you're meeting the challenges in your new beginning, especially as you come into alignment. Balance the energies. Weight the scale evenly to close out this year and walk forward into 2026 in all the strength that allows you to claim your justice. So, on the 26th, the most karmically significant day of the week, let me tell you, the moon in Pisces will be square with Mercury. Mercury is in Sagittarius in our 4th house, focusing on your roots, your home, your family. The moon, our emotions, is really focusing with that water, that compassion, and it's bringing strength with this square. So this square is here to teach you that feelings and words don't always need to align. Not every truth needs articulation. Not every feeling needs resolution. And most importantly, not every silence is avoidance. It's strength. It's instruction. Some understandings happen wordlessly if you listen and are willing to listen beneath the language. And just like the solstice in a time of silence with that darkest night, or a summer solstice with embracing imperfections and letting them flow, there's wisdom in the silence that your heart truly attunes to with this square. This square is teaching you the power of your silence against antagonization. This is truly embracing your heart chakra too, with knowing that you're supported. In, like as above, so below, with your aura aligned, you align with the right people. You don't allow your power to be taken away. Sometimes that silence allows you to hold that strength. And this square is going to be teaching you that. At the same time as well, the moon in Pisces will also trine Jupiter retrograde, which is in Cancer, exalted in our 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, community support, social networks. And they are trining, harmonious, at 22 degrees, the master builder degree. So this is where emotional nourishment and support truly arrives through your new soul contract that's coming in this week on the 25th. There is a friend, a memory, or even someone in your community that is stepping up and stepping into your life. And this trine is a reminder that your dreams were never foolish. They were your justice. Even when doubt and defeat tried to close you off to them. So Jupiter retrograde is reminding you of a hope that once truly was something and one that you trusted. Friends, community, or dreams will remind you that you're seen, that you're held, and that they want to help you rise. And as you can see, this is your affinity, this is your respite, this is your stability, this is your peace. And this is where strength, your strength, returns, because love always not only transcends time and space, but it triumphs over hate. It brings harmony to your vision. It allows you to have that inner courage, especially with Mars in Capricorn in our 5th house of joy, and stand in our personal power to balance the scales and make sure your energy is balanced, to weight things appropriately. And I'll say it again, it's between joy and responsibility, love and limits, devotion and self-respect. So, with Jupiter retrograde playing as big a role as he is on Friday, under this master builder degree, with this new soul contract, this is where you are truly being seen. And at the same time, as your hope, as you're being reminded that you're not truly alone and your hope expands, there's a steady sense of belonging without obligation that is coming into fruition, that is coming into brilliance. And it's going to reassure you, urge you to reach higher, expand greater, and shine brighter once again, because that is what you were meant to do as you ascend into mastery. With the spiritual number of 11, which again breaks down to that duality. embracing every bit of yourself, every piece of yourself, all the lessons, and turn those wounds into wisdom. So, at the same time, I will also say the moon will also be conjunct with Saturn in Pisces on Friday. These two are exalting those hopes, your partnerships, with emotional maturity to give you a profound clarity. This conjunction is where love truly learns gravity. And remember, love is growing up this week. And when love grows up, when it learns gravity, it's becoming your anchor. It's going to help you see what your commitments truly require, what they truly entail, so that you know what you're committing to. They're helping you see just how much love your love can hold. And, more importantly, what you're no longer willing to carry alone. This is true emotional sovereignty, and it's becoming a firm foundation. It's becoming the firm foundation of what your relationships in the next year will be built on, as this contract, this lesson, and this agreement this week is truly written with ocean ink, with all of this Piscean energy. I will also say, though, we're not done yet with Friday. This is where there's true magic coming in. So there is something even more exciting happening as we close out this week. And by far, it's the biggest astrological event of the week. And it's happening on Friday between the moon and Uranus. These two are sextiling at 29 degrees. And I will also say, this is the last time that this sextile will occur in Pisces for 168 years. And yes, I just got goosebumps. If you did too, put a heart in the comments below, because this by far is the climax of what this week has been, each and every day, has been building up to at a micro level and at a macro level. Truly, everyone is going to feel this, and everyone is going to be asked to step up. So there is something here, especially because it is so rare, and it only happens once every 168 years, like I say, longer than each of our lifetimes. This is generational. This is historic. And it's a historic final karmic release that is happening across the world, that's marking an end to an emotional pattern for every single one of us. And it has a lot to do with conflicts that have left you feeling defeated, that have left you feeling stressed, where there was tension, where there was violence, where there was arguments. We'll get in deeper though. So this is monumental, and it's also very special. It's once in a lifetime, and you're being asked to break a pattern that will not return in its current form for generations. And because of it, there's a timeline correction that is happening and that's also being repaired, and it has a lot to do with how we respond, not react. It has a lot to do about how we deal with conflict. So it's not only a long overdue ancestral healing, it's a karmic wave that's completing itself. For each and every one of us, something is ending, and it's ending completely. It's final. It's a liberation that will echo forward, so something freer can begin. And by you choosing differently, there's a new result that's putting all of us on a new trajectory in our spirituality. Peace is replacing something where there once used to be significant effort that was needed and exerted, and it's lightening the load for what you and your lineage will carry forward from here. This is the type of transit that we all choose to experience when we decided and agreed to be born under this time. This is very special. It has a lot to do with your expansion. Remember, Uranus is in Taurus in your 9th house. The moon is in Pisces, focusing on your partnerships, how we deal with conflict, how we rise above them. They're working together, and they're breaking us free, where we're able to release the karmic patterns that have kept us bound to those generational curses. We're breaking patterns. We're correcting timelines. We're moving in a way that focuses our energy. And this is where a change is truly coming. This is success. This is travel towards your ambitions, standing in your willpower, learning to respond, not react, not rush, not work in haste. This week by far will leave you feeling repositioned, empowered, more grounded, more open in your true aura, your aligned aura, and more devoted to what truly matters. And it's all about you walking in your truth. So this week is truly going to leave you with joy that has structure. This week is also going to be one where love has gravity. And it's going to teach you and leave you with faith that does not require self-erasure. Instead, it allows you to stand and shine in all of your individuality. And for all of us to stand collectively united. The sky is proudly watching all of this happen this week, is watching you walk with presence, with renewed aura in the right direction, in a new alignment, and with a new understanding and appreciation of your sovereignty, against what you've been taught to believe, and instead defining those boundaries to anchor your love with wisdom, with truth, and with gravity so that you can walk into your true soul's abundance and alignment and sing in all of the ways you were meant to shine. So this is where it's ensuring in your sovereignty that all of us were meant to stand in and learn, ascend towards with our soul agreements. All of this week is ensuring that you're ready and that you're awake for the new beginnings that are coming in 2025, because 2026, because 2026 is our great awakening. It's our big reset. And it starts, we get this little precursor, this big reset in a lot of ways, but this is the start, especially with the moon and Uranus sextile, that happens once in like generational lifetimes. This is the start, a little peek and sneak preview of what's to come this next year. This is where we are learning to sing our healing songs for the world. There's inner navigation that we're trusting, that we're aligning with, that's guiding us. We're no longer turning a blind eye to it. We're no longer diminishing it. We're honoring it. Nothing is going to be stopping you from achieving your goal, from standing in your purpose, aligning with your wisdom when you stand in the power of your soul. It's your abundance. It's prophesized. This is the sacred buffalo that is cloaking you, opening you to all the wisdom that lies within your DNA. And it's coming into alignment for your remembrance, for the great awakening. This is keeping you warm through the storms of life. This is filling your life with goodness. It's teaching you the way of gratitude and prayer, and it's where we truly align with science and with spirituality, with just how powerful we are as light beings. This is the week where we make an agreement. We have a sacred agreement that is a holy alignment. And I can't help it. I just got goosebumps again. If you did too, by all means, let me know. Share your thoughts. Put a heart in the comments below if you resonate with this reading. And more importantly too, if you like the way that I read, please know that you guys are what help ascend these messages to the collective. All your interactions, your comments, your thoughts, all of it makes us align with each other as a collective so that we can stand united. So by all means, please like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below, even if it didn't resonate, or if you've got thoughts that contradict, share them. Let's grow and let's learn together, because truly each and every one of you are what help these messages get delivered to the ears, to the spirits, the souls that need to hear them. Now, before we go as well, I mean, look at all of this. Oh my goodness. So for music and color frequencies, I just want to put these in. I mean, wow, E is speaking here big time. I want to put these in an order where I can see them all. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, all right. So what we pulled in this reading, I mean, look at how transformational this is. This is a big week, no pressure. But either way, what we pulled for music frequency is C, F sharp, 3 E's, an F, a D sharp, a G sharp, a C sharp, and an A, and then color frequency. What we've got here is reds, we've got purple, we've got yellows, we've got greens, we've got orange, and most importantly, we've got enlightenment with the indigo. So I am sending you guys so much love and light. Take care. Have a wonderful week. For those that celebrate as well, Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a wonderful week with safe travels. sharing and spreading, anchoring your love into your foundation with your family. But until we see each other again, take care, love and light, and I will see you in the next reading.